I think there's something you should know about me. I just happen to...
Outstanding. Let's go bowling. Wow!
Hey Aussie gamers and honorary Aussie gamers from around the world, welcome to episode 88, The Two Fat Ladies. Today is Wednesday the 29th of July 2015 and you're listening to the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that doesn't believe that an Xbox One can slit your throat. I am your host LewkOne and joining me as usual is my great friend Thorncliff. How are you?
I'm very well, but it probably will make you want to slit your throat.
Yes, depending on the game you're playing and the
Yes.
intro tutorial section. Also, joining us this week is our other great friend Red. How are you?
Fantastic.
Lovely. Just before we get into Game Talk, let's talk about this week's show in preview. First up, we'll have Game Talk. Then we'll do the news. And in the news this week, we have Games with Gold for August, Fallout 4 Perks and Companions, esports drug scandals, Mafia 3 being announced, keyboard and mouse for PlayStation 4, and Hulk Hogan is gone! After that, we're going to sneak in a little special segment called Famous Video Game Potatoes. If you've been with us for a while, you'll know what that is. If not, we'll explain that later. After that, What's That Sound? Then Not So Frequently Asked Questions, and this week's Not So FAQ is on the Diablo series. Are you happy about that, Sean?
Yes, I am.
Firstly, is it Diablo or Diablo? How do you say it?
Diablo.
Diablo. I'm overthinking that massively. Then after that, we'll do the shout.
The devil.
And then we will bring the show home for another week. Right, first up in Game Talk, what I want to discuss is a couple of massive games that we've played throughout the last week. And first of all, I'm going to start with The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Now, it's a PC game that's just recently been brought across to the PlayStation 4. Now, I've finished it. I think, Red, you've started it, and Sean, you know a bit about it. But before I played this game, I went in blind. I had no idea what I was up for. I just thought, oh, you know what? Actually, what I do know about this game is what I heard about it through Reddit. And what Reddit went absolutely batshit crazy about is that it was super duper beautiful Rock Simulator 2015, because the detail that the game goes into, the rocks and the scenery are all photorealistic. Apparently the developers actually went and took photos of rocks and superimposed it as textures onto rocks in the game to make it look super beautiful. And it does. It looks great. And I put a post up on the Facebook page earlier in the week when I was playing it with the comment saying every screenshot in this game is a painting.
Yeah.
Because you look at, when you're at a certain point in the game and you're looking out, if you don't move the controller, it looks like you're looking at a photo, like a still image. And it doesn't look real. It looks like a painting. But sure enough, if you move around, it's a full 3D environment and looks fantastic. So that's probably the number one thing that I'd point out that I noticed straight up, is that the game looks fantastic.
Is that running on Unreal 4? Is it, or you're not 100% sure?
No, I don't know. It's running on Super Duper Awesome 4. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Don't know, but Google that. Can you Google that, Red, while we're doing this?
Of course I can.
And then the next thing that you notice when you first start playing it is that, and I think it actually just tells you front up. It says, we're not going to hold your hand.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the other thing it lacked was a tutorial.
Yep, no tutorial. So, Sean, you're not going to know when to start or finish. You're going to be confused.
Yeah,
but
it is actually was ported onto Unreal Engine 4.
Unreal Engine 4. There you go. Wonderful. So, no, I mean, it kind of has a tutorial, but not really. You don't really get that sense of it holding your hand whatsoever. There's no objective marker, nothing telling you where to go, nothing even telling you what the go is. You basically get thrown into the world. You have a voiceover character, which is... Did you notice, do you guys recognise the voice?
No, I don't, but it's you, isn't it?
No, it's not me. I didn't get paid to do it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, it's the same voice actor. I don't know his name, but the guy that does Sniper Elite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the main character in the Sniper Elite series is the voiceover for this one. He's like a private detective. I can't remember what his name is, but it sort of starts off like Ethan Carter is writing a letter, have you, to this detective guy, and he's on the case now to go and find Ethan because Ethan's missing.
Yes.
Hence the name of the game, The Vanishing of Ethan
So
Carter.
he's vanished, yeah.
So I kind of got a sense of like Seven. You know that movie Seven?
Oh,
Yes.
Just that whole like, okay, there's this guy's on the case, kind of like Brad Pitt, and you've got to work out exactly what's going on, and you've got all these murders leading up to it, like in Seven, the seven deadly sins. Whereas in this one, it starts off and you just keep walking and you find a dead body on the ground with like its legs cut off and stuff like that. That's your intro into the game. And essentially that's a puzzle. You have to work out what happened. And as I've said, it doesn't hold your hand at all. So you need to just walk around, look, piece it together. Now, I will admit, I did use a guide at the beginning because it really doesn't hold your hand to the point where I didn't know what was going on. I managed to get certain parts. Red, you were talking about the astronaut and going to space.
What the fuck? Yeah, that was a big WTF moment. I'll give you that much.
It makes sense later. Trust me.
Yeah.
It'll make sense why some of the shit in this game is bizarre. Because at first you'll be thinking, that doesn't fit the context of this at all. Later on it'll make sense. But I did read a bit of a guide, which kick-started me. And then after that first section that I used the guide in, I found that I didn't really need one later. And the difficulty in the Vanishing of Ethan Carter is kind of reversed to what most games will have you experience. It's most difficult at the beginning and gets easier as you progress along because you learn. And you think, oh, okay, look, I understand what I've got to do now, so which that makes the next one a little bit easier. But it's that whole, I don't know what I'm doing that makes it tricky.
It's kind of a unique way of doing things when they do stuff like that. They're like not having a tutorial and all that kind of stuff because it adds to the mystery behind things where you kind of go, like in real life, if somebody, you get a letter and you go, oh, what's going on here? And then you go and you start to look, you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
right.
know what you need to do. So it's more adding to that, I don't know, like a sense of realism behind things like that.
Well, it's like with a real private detective or police. It's not like when there's a murder mystery and you're at the crime scene and you're struggling that you can't just Google who killed this bloke.
Yeah, or like a little magnifying glass doesn't pop up over the top of the evidence.
Yeah, and when you're investigating a crime scene, nothing shimmers like in a video game.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Or if you will, as in Murdered Soul Suspect, there isn't a big beam of fucking light coming down from the sky, which is illuminating everything.
No, nothing like that. And this game doesn't have anything like that. But this one, though, it does have very, very slight. It doesn't over control the sort of themes of the game, but has a slight supernatural feeling to it.
It does, yeah. It's like, well, where the fuck am I going?
Yeah.
Just warped me.
when you'll get visions and things like that, and once again you'll just accept it. You're like, okay, well, that's just what's in the game. It makes sense later on when you finish the game. It all comes together. It's
The feel that I got was it was a representation of deduction, if you know what I mean. Like with your first body, every piece of the puzzle that you put together, the shimmering light around him when you're going into like your view mode, if you will, press X to view.
Yeah,
it gets bigger and bigger as you're piecing the puzzle together. It's almost a process of deduction. Well, that was my opinion anyway.
Well, no, that's spot on. That's a good way of explaining it. That is exactly what that is. But the fact that it comes up, the vision comes up, like in real life, you don't have that. Although it is a video game representation of that you're progressing and you're getting further and all that sort of stuff. It makes sense. Once again, I can't reiterate enough that it'll all piece together why it's like that. And this, not that I want to sort of toot my own horn, because I know I'm not as good as this, but when I was younger, you know what? I've got to stop there. I can't tell this story. because that'll spoil things. I can't do that. What else can I say? I guess the puzzles in the game, they develop a kind of difficulty by being simple.
Yes.
The difficulty is in its simplicity. I guess that's what it is. It's one of those games where you
don't need to overthink the situation.
Yeah, and generally,
we're
if you
geared
do
to as
overthink,
gamers.
sorry,
We're geared to as gamers these days to
Well, that's
overthink
it.
each situation.
but I think overthinking is what makes it hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I get that'll tie into the next review that I want to talk about. Another game that a lot of developers are getting into this, and I like it. It's really good because there's not a lot of puzzles in this game in Ethan Carter that you can't work out. You know, some games that you get stuck on, you eventually look at the guide and you go, I would have never worked that out.
Yeah.
There is a trophy in this game that's like that, but the actual game puzzles there's none of that. It's all something you can work out. If you have a level enough head, you'll get there. It's a brilliant story. It's another game as well that has puzzles. It's a puzzler with a really gripping story in the background that keeps it going. It's like I keep going back to games like Thomas Was Alone. If you take away that backstory, it's just a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Well,
even when you look at things like the recent one that we played through, Numa.
Yep.
And that was, for me, there was puzzles in that I breezed through. And then there's other puzzles that you just need that kind of like outside perspective, you know, like some people might go, boom, they got past that one really easy, whereas I've struggled with it where I've got past other ones really easy. It's just the way that your mind's geared, and I like puzzles like that there because, you know, like I even get my wife to, like, I'll be sitting down and I can't work something out, and like she'll sit down next to me and go, oh, what if you do that there and then that there, that kind of works. So
yeah. And another thing as well, another tip that I'll give with games like this, if you find that you're struggling, turn it off and come back tomorrow, because I don't know what I know there's a scientific explanation for it, but if you stop doing what you're doing and rest, when you come back to it, there's a very good chance that the answer is just going to snap right in front of you, even though you had absolutely no idea before. It may just snap, and that happens for me quite a lot when I put a game down when I'm stuck, come back to it and finish it straight away.
Well, it's funny you say that. You know, this is going off on a beaten path, but I learned Japanese at school, right? And you'd gorge all this information, you'd take it all, and it'd mean nothing to you. But they said if you revisit it in 6 to 8 hours on the next day, even if it's only the first 50% of what you learnt, it's all going to click, and it does. And that's just to tie that in. You're very right. You walk away, you come back, it's like you've got a fresh set of eyes again. Yeah. And and you push on, and then obviously you get a bit of success, and that'll produce more. That's
what these games are designed around. You need to do that, and I'm pretty sure that there's some very high-paid scientist that has put a name to that phenomenon, but I don't know what it is. It takes about 5-6 hours to play, depending on how much you struggle and whether you use a guide at all. If you don't use a guide, that will probably extend out to 10 hours maybe.
Or how much time you spend in space looking at pods and stars and not realising there's a fucking letter behind you.
Yeah, read the letter, otherwise you'll be there forever. But that's another thing as well, and it also depends on how much time you spend just looking,
appreciating it. As you said.
Yeah, you can appreciate a lot to look at in this game.
And also love the fact, like, because I've done the first 2 hours, I've done just probably about an hour of it's just right. There's a beaten path off to the left, there's a beaten path off to the right, and then you get up there and there's another fork. I just run around. I'm just having a look, and it creates an ambience or an atmosphere, if you will, of the creaking trees. The further you go into that forest off to your left when you first start, it gets darker. There's dense, obviously, and the way that's produced, and then the wind comes through your headset perfectly with the stereo effect, and then there's the creaking of the trees. I actually felt myself getting the heebie-jeebies, and I went before I jumped in for a chat with you. I went and had a shower and cleansed myself.
It's a creepy game, but
It's awesome.
There's nothing in it really for most of the game that's going to hurt you. It's creepy. That's the idea. And I think there's only one character. One character I think that you meet in the whole game. And I implore you, go and shake his hand. That's all I'm going to tell you. Go and shake his hand. It may or may not be linked to a trophy. You need to shake his hand, all right? That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, it's a really good game. When I finished it, all I thought was, I want another one. I want another one now. So, Ethan Carter developers, get onto it, please. Now.
So, big question. I'll bring it up because it probably needs to be touched on. The pricing point, I believe it's at $26.95.
Yeah, yep, paid every day. Absolutely.
Paid every day. Yep. You've said that in your review and everything like that, and I just thought we should voice that because I've played, as I said, 2 hours of it, and I've got my money's worth per se.
Yeah, look, I'm very happy with it. I think the price is reasonable. It'll probably go on sale and you'll be able to get it a bit cheaper, but I don't think you'd be disappointed if you go in knowing what you're after. Like, you like a good sort of murder mystery. I don't think anyone will be disappointed with this game. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, and just to revisit a point that you touched on earlier, you said many developers are doing this new style at the moment, and I just wanted to try and sum that up. I think it's an experience, if you know what I mean. The developers are being able to promote you to generate your own experience within their world. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, I went left, I went right, I done this. There was nothing saying you had to do this first, you have to do this second. And just the whole experience, I felt like I was in complete control of everything I was doing at every stage.
Well, you are. I think there might be, maybe with respect to the very last part of the game, I don't think there's any order you need to do the first bits and pieces in, like the murder mysteries. I think you can do them in any order.
Yeah, as I said, I wandered off into the black forest and I found these 4 lights, and they went red, that went blue, and I went, I just figured out what I got to do.
Well, that's it. That's another thing I was going to say is a tip. If the screen flashes red, you did it wrong. If it flashes blue, you did it right. Keep going. But a thing that gameplay-wise that I really appreciate is the movement speed. You've got a real decent run speed. So although sometimes you'll be like, oh shit, I've got to go right back to the beginning. As much as it feels daunting, it probably only take you 60 seconds.
Yeah.
It's quite a large area, and you'll feel like, geez, that's a long way to go. It doesn't really take that long because it's a real good pace that they allow you to run, and you don't get tired.
Yeah, and there's one thing in this game that I almost deplore in every other game, but it really has a place in this.
What's that?
And that's invisible walls. It won't let you just tumble off a cliff. There's obviously no life, death, respawn. A lot of games, like I touched on it with God of War last week, you don't need those invisible walls. Let me fall to my death and learn from that experience.
Mm.
This is not a die, respawn, retry sort of an experience.
No, but there's no need for it in this game.
No, there's absolutely not. There's absolutely not. And they had these invisible walls here, there, and everywhere. But that meant you can push yourself right up to the edge of the cliff face and get those screenshots you're talking about. Get just the full depth and the scope of. There's a whole freaking countryside out there. You probably won't even visit it, but the amount of work that's been put in just so you can stand at the edge of a cliff at the edge of your game world and just take it all in. And it's vibrant, living, bloody environment around it. As I said,
great draw distance in it.
Massive draw distance in it.
Brilliant game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we better move on. Let's have a talk about the next game that we played and reviewed this week, because I think equally just as amazing. It's I guess a different scope of a game, but still very good in my opinion. The game's called Q.U.B.E. It's the director's cut. Now, it's been out on PC for quite some time, and it's just been ported across to the PlayStation 4 just like the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. But Q.U.B.E, another game that I've never played before, didn't have any idea on what it was about, had no idea, just saw the screenshots of some dude's hand with a glove on.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
a white sort of cubey looking room that you're in. It's a puzzler. It's another puzzler. Puzzlers everywhere. They're like the flavor of the month, but I'm enjoying them because they're not stupid puzzles. They're quite good. You can actually work them out, and they give you the sense of, wow, I'm really smart.
Yeah. One thing when I went into Q.U.B.E completely blind as well, I think I had an image in my head. We were talking about a game last week, which was semi-like Tetris.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought that this Q.U.B.E was going to be, because I hadn't seen anything about it. I hadn't thing, and I thought that possibly could have been what you were talking about. Completely blew me away the second I dropped in there, and a little voiceover comes over our head, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking around, and it's all like, as you say, this cube, little cubes everywhere, all around you, and that. And I'm sitting, am I into like an asylum? Am I in?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah, something weird. But then, yeah, as it's gone through,
it's a very sterile-like environment, isn't it?
Yes,
yes.
But it's real clean and crisp.
Yes, looks like that. Yeah, it looks like it could be like a hospital or something like that there right from the start without knowing anything about it, and took me straight into the puzzles, and very, very cool. The way that the different coloured blocks do different things, and then you need to work out what things to move, what distance to be able to do the next puzzle, and yeah.
The basic principle behind the game is that you've got these gloves on your hands, and kind of I've given it a lot of references to Portal. And like in Portal, that you had the
Portal gun.
The two portals where you've got the blue and the orange. This one, you've got the ability to extrude.
Yeah.
I don't know what the opposite to extrude is.
Push back in.
Push back in will do. You can extrude.
You can pull out or push in.
You can pull out blocks or push them into the wall. So there are the red blocks will just come out of the wall in one long continuous, what turns into, I guess, like a rectangular prism. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Yep. But they can only come out three.
They come out 3 cubes long.
Yep.
And then there's the yellow ones, which will come out in 3s, so 3 wide, but depending on which one you pull out will depend on how far they come out. Yeah. So if you pull out one of the outside ones of the 3, it'll bring that one out 3, it'll bring the next one out 2, and the next one out 1. And if you pull on the middle one, it'll bring that out 2, and then the ones either side of it will just come out 1 block. It's probably very hard to explain without showing, but then it introduces
like a column graph.
Yeah, it does come out like a bar graph, column graph, and that'll introduce different mechanics later in the game, like a button that'll spin the room. There's green ones that are actual physical blocks
that you move by moving the red ones or the yellow ones.
You don't actually physically touch anything in the world. It's all manipulated by these like telekinetic gloves that you're wearing.
Your Minority Report gloves.
Like that. And so you've just got to manipulate all these things to get yourself.
It's a blue one that if you push it down, you stand on it, it'll jump you up on.
Yeah, it's like a spring.
Yeah.
So you use all of these things together to get you either to a high point where the next door and essentially next puzzle is, or you've got to use them to move bits and pieces around to hit a switch to open up the next door, or to manipulate a sphere. Yes, there are spheres in Q.U.B.E. Balls of steel. And you'll have to direct the balls around into certain areas, different coloured ones in different areas and things like that. The puzzles aren't easy, but they aren't hard. Once again, it falls into that difficulty in its own simplicity, where I think most people will enjoy the puzzles because it'll take you a little bit of trial and error, but you won't do your head in trying to work them out.
And also a little tip when it comes to doing these puzzles as well, just because you have something in the room with the puzzle doesn't necessarily mean that you need to use it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There have been times where I've worked out puzzles in it, and then I think when I finished it, I didn't even use that one.
Yeah.
You sneaky sons of bitches.
Yeah, so there was one of them that I was doing yesterday, and I was trying really hard to get to jump across the room onto a blue thing that would shoot me up the top. And all I had to do was rotate the room once, and I could jump up.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do all these things that weren't necessary. So
overthinking.
You could just
Yeah,
but
that's it.
the story behind it as well. So it's got a story going where basically you're out in the middle of space, and you're inside this cube, which is on like a path to hit Earth.
Yep.
And the only contact that you can get is from the International Space Station, which is relaying messages from Earth to the International Space Station, which will then relay them onto you. Now, every time it goes out of range, you'll lose contact. And it says every time we do an orbit around the moon, we will lose contact with you. And damn, it must be going fast, because it's like every 2 minutes that you lose contact with them.
Well, it depends on how long. I think the size of the moon depends on how long it takes you to do a puzzle.
Yes.
Because generally they come back into orbit amazingly after you finish the puzzle.
Yeah. And they're saying that like you're the only chance to get out of to dismantle the cube from the inside. And then as you progress on further, then another voice comes in basically saying you're being lied to. And
yeah,
I don't want to go any further with that into spoiler territory or anything like that. As you go further into the cube, it gets darker. So you'll actually go into and have puzzles, which is very, very clever. You'll go into a room and it'll be completely black, and it'll have switches on the wall which you turn on. So you'll turn the red switch on, it'll show you where the red block is. You switch the yellow switch on, it turns off the red one and will show you the yellow one. So you're doing puzzles completely in the darkness, which is really unique, because you need to basically set it all up and then flick back through your colours just to make sure you've got it set up, and then try and do the puzzle blind.
You know, I had an idea on how to cheat.
Yes.
I didn't try it, so I'm not sure if it works. But I was very tempted just to turn up the brightness.
The brightness.
I don't know if it works, though, because I didn't do it, because I couldn't be bothered. But I had the idea. But through my own laziness, I did it properly.
Yeah.
But
it was cool. That was quite a refreshing type of puzzle that you don't really see often. So
it was good. But I just mentioned as well, your character has apparently lost his memory. Yes. And I thought that was really cool, because with all the dialogue and things that people were telling me, I was thinking, I don't really know if that's true or not. Because I don't know, because I haven't finished the game yet. And it kind of gave me a sense of, if I was that character, I really have lost my memory, because I don't know if what they're telling me is right.
Yes. And there's quite some somber notes in there as well.
Yeah. I should mention that these games have been reviewed by our admin members. So Nico, he reviewed The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, I forgot to mention, and Pat Snoogans has reviewed Q.U.B.E, the director's cut. So check out those reviews on aussiegamersexpress.com. But Q.U.B.E, I thought it was amazing. I think it took me about 4 hours, between 4 and 5 hours to complete, but I'm a brain box, so that's natural. I smashed through it. But Sean, have you got to the end yet?
No, not yet. I think it's
just a tutorial.
There's a wall in there that the lights flash up.
Flash up.
So you'll walk into an area, like a level, if you will, and before you go into the next area, you'll see 6 cubes above the doorway, and they light up as you go along.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I've done 4 or 5 of those. So.
Yeah, that's like your levels, and you'll pop a trophy every time you get through one.
Yep.
It's pretty neat, but I must mention, once you finish the game, though, that's not it. There's a pretty cool challenge mode that you can go through and play, which is like a time attack. Where you can pick up like little clocks that extend the time, and you pick up little perks. So you can pick up one that'll make you run faster. You'll pick up some that'll make you jump higher. You'll pick up like random ones that'll give you a random like perk, and you've got to quickly get through. Obviously, with the timer, you've got a certain time to get through there, but you're also trying to get the fastest time you possibly can. So there's a whole bunch of them that you can go through and play as well. So it's got a fair bit of replayability.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Like the extra height in jump would be quite good because there's certain bits there that you don't have to finish certain bits of puzzles that you can just jump up to the next level.
Oh, well, the time attack ones are they're different levels. It's not the single player game. It's a
okay.
The whole bunch
completely different.
Yeah,
wow.
Completely different. There's a whole bunch more that you can do. There's a couple of trophies attached to it as well. So if you want to get all 100%, you'll have to go through them. But they're fun. They're really good. Well made. Well put together. Little extra tracks there. I'd call them tracks. Controls Fusion. I want to mention as well. There's a trophy for completing the hardest puzzle in the game. Now, I finished the hardest puzzle in the game, and I tell you what, it's fucking hard. Now, this is probably the only bad thing I have to say about this game. That puzzle, to me, wasn't hard because it was designed that way. It was hard because it's buggy.
Oh, okay.
I never had any bugs throughout the entire game except for the hardest puzzle in the game. I don't know if they've done that intentionally, but God, it did my head in. There's a puzzle, right, where you've got 4 cubes and you've got the magnets on all 4. You're standing above the puzzle, right? Yep. And there's 4 magnets on all 4 of the walls. And obviously the magnet will draw all of the cubes to that one wall one at a time. What you need to do is get them lined up so when you turn one magnet on, there's 2 big blocks and 2 small cubes, I should say. Yeah. And the small cubes slide faster than the big cubes. So you kind of got a bit of timing involved, and you got to get them lined up in a certain spot so they hit a laser. Now, the problem is sometimes, like, I knew what I had to do. Like, it wasn't that hard for me. It's probably one of those things where a lot of people overthink, and it looks very daunting to start with. But I had it worked out in my head. I'm like, okay, I know what to do. And I got it all lined up, and all I had to do was press the magnet, and I've pressed the magnet, and only 3 of the blocks started getting dragged. 1 block was stuck on the wall. And I was like, oh, that's so annoying. So there's a reset button. So I hit the reset button. They all started from the beginning again. I got it all there, did it again, and they got stuck again. It was doing my head in. I had to redo that 5 times. But it wasn't me. I used the same method every time. And finally, when I got it right, it was the exact same method that I tried the first time. But for some reason, that last time, it finally didn't get stuck. And there's nothing there for it to be stuck on. It was just bugging out on me. There was a different block every time. It was really annoying. But anyway, I just have to say that when you get up to it, it's the puzzle where I've already explained it. You should be able to recognize it. You're standing up above and there's lasers. When you get to it, let me know when you finish it if you had the same problem, but it did my head in. So essentially, they weren't wrong. It was the hardest puzzle in the game. Well, I got that off my chest anyway. But other than that, fantastic game. I can't fault it other than that one little thing. Beautiful game. I do recommend it for puzzle game lovers. Anything else to say on it?
No. I think we've covered that. Red.
It's definitely the flavour of the month, isn't it? 4 to 5 hour puzzle games at the moment.
Puzzle games. I think I jumped the gun too early. I think a week or two, not last week, the week before, I called the name of the podcast was Puzzlers Everywhere. I should have saved it for this week. But anyway, all right. Well, if you're all good, we'll move on to our next game that we played.
The Black Sheep.
The Black Sheep. It's called Godzilla.
And you just listed everything good about it.
Oh!
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's $105.95 on the store. And I think it's about $105 too much.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
look,
I'm going to chime in, and I've
go ahead.
done a lot of, because I love Godzilla, the Gaijin, and I love the kaijus, and I love Japanese stuff, and I love the movies, and the latest movie was a hit, and done a lot of reading on this pre-launch, and watched a lot of video, and when it became available for us to play, I'm like, okay, not to sound like a negative Nancy, I'm going to let someone else play it first, and I just so happened to be on the mic on the headset with you, and I got your thoughts first and foremost as to the minute, and then made my decision from there.
It is a very, very good game for a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame, really. But first of all, the control scheme. What are they thinking there? Like, normally with a third person, or even in a first person game, the right stick controls the camera, and your character follows that camera.
Yeah.
But the right stick is independent. It just controls the camera and nothing else. And to turn Godzilla left and right, you're pressing R1 and L1.
Like an aeroplane.
Like an aeroplane's your control. The only thing is, this thing doesn't move anywhere near as nimble as an aeroplane, say, like in War Thunder. It is sluggish. Yeah, okay, he's a 100-ton, whatever he is. He's a massive 100-meter tall beast. He's going to be sluggish. But wow, does that not translate into a fun game. There's nothing to do. Like, the main campaign, sort of you'd call it that. There's no story. It's just blow shit up. But the main objectives are very minimal, and they're not fun. You get thrown into the game and you get told you need G energy or whatever it's called, so you have to blow up the generators. Because I guess with the most recent movie, and I don't know much about the past, but it probably has always been the same, but these monsters are attracted to like nuclear energy and these power stations. So your objective is, there's usually about 3 generators in the level. Your mission is to go and smash as much shit as you want, but as soon as you destroy the 3 generators, you're done. So that's all you need to do. There's other optional things that you can do, and they're kind of like research positions on the map. Whereas if you stand in a certain spot, which will be indicated on the map, it'll tell you, like, there'll be voiceovers from the humans. You'll hear them. And you click the right stick in, and it'll cut to like a cinematic camera from, 100 meters away, and it'll be the humans collecting data on you. So essentially you're playing as both the humans and Godzilla. But that's all you do. All you do is walk to A, press the right stick. You can just stand there and do nothing if you want, and a meter will fill up. And then once that's finished, you can go to the B, the next position, press the right stick, either keep smashing shit or just stand there and wait, whatever. And then whenever you feel like it, go and smash the 3 generators, and that's it, game over. There's no, the humans are there with helicopters shooting at you. They don't do any damage that I could notice anyway. But then the challenge comes in, I think it doesn't happen in the first level, but the second, third, and subsequent, when the kaijus come in, so the other monsters, it kind of becomes like just a bitch fest, where you just mash the shit out of all the buttons you've got and hope for the best and bash them. And I felt like the whole time all I was doing was waiting for my strong laser attack to rebuild before I could use it again. And yeah, you can, once you level up and things like that, you can go and upgrade your attacks, but they're not that great. It was just bad. There wasn't anything fun to do.
Didn't you get to recreate some of your favourite Power Ranger moments?
Yeah, the kaijus too. Look, Godzilla looked okay. and the Godzilla from the movie, you can select the one from the movie as well. He looks pretty sick. But the enemy monsters, they just look like Power Ranger characters. Like, really bad outfits. It just, oh. And the mecha Godzillas, so like the robot ones, they're
Voltron.
just... No, don't say that about Voltron. It's bad. I can't recommend it. I mean, I feel bad for bagging out a video game because I love video games so much, and it's not often that I have to talk about such a game like this, but I feel bad saying that it was anything other. I can't recommend it. Maybe if you're a massive Godzilla fan and you want to collect all the Godzilla figurines and set up your dioramas, because you can set up dioramas in this game, you probably might get a bit of worth out of it, but the game's, it's just not fun to play.
I think that possibly, I'd like to get your thoughts on it, but did they go about it the wrong way? Like, if you're going to make a Godzilla game, would it have been better as more of, I don't know, like I'm
Humans.
First-person shooter kind of thing where
Probably.
You're running around and like in the old Matthew Broderick movie, or the Godzilla lays the eggs and all that kind of stuff, and I think it would be cool as like doing it like the movie where you're going around and your first one is investigating the scene where it first come to land, and then finding out where it was, and then initially setting up for an assault on it.
You know what, the current setup for the games, the way it is, would actually have made a decent iPad game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously probably scaled down a little bit, different sort of camera angles, but a game where it'd be like a free-to-play game on an iPad, and I think it would probably work a little bit better, sending him in, tap where you want it to smash shit, upgrading things, and maybe you could play as the humans as well and build stuff up, make them stronger so Godzilla can't destroy everything, stuff like that. But as a PS4 game, misses the mark. And the PS3 version doesn't even get multiplayer because it has online multiplayer. I tried it and I get matched up against like level 70s and stuff like that and get absolutely annihilated because I'm a piss weak level 14.
It's kind of disappointing that like such a big supplier has put their name to it. Like Bandai Namco, they had like The Witcher 3 and Project Cars and Dark Souls and all that kind of stuff, and then this, which is $20 more than they are on the store. And
yeah, well, that's another thing. How do they come up with the price?
No idea.
I don't know. Maybe there's the budget that had it warranted for a AAA price, but I don't know. I can't recommend it. Not at all.
That's disappointing.
All right. Well, that's enough of that. Anyway, Sean, do you want to just quickly touch on some other things before we move on to the news?
Yeah, I got a platinum trophy.
What'd you get a platinum in?
Oh, what do you think I got
Lego
a platinum
Jurassic
in?
Oh, Lego.
Yes.
You got that last one. Was it you, the last brick, or was it the game?
It was me.
Ah, blame the game.
Yeah. And after I'd got all the gold bricks, I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I go, why the bloody hell am I still at like 97%? I've done everything. I've gotten everything. And then I hadn't pushed on the purchase of a couple of the characters.
Oh, okay. So
yep.
Yeah, as soon as I did that, then boom, it was done. So, yeah, got that. Just a little bits of like the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2 and all that kind of stuff. I've been having a bit of dick around with that. And then, Clan Wars on the weekend. So,
yeah, what happened to that? Because I was absent for that.
Not much happened, but we still won.
Oh.
I think we won by taking 3 nodes, did we, Red?
We took a total of 5. We had 2 neutralised by a couple of teams that were playing. But the big thing is why not a lot was happening is because we put the shout out early to all clan members, and I got an either a yes or no at the time whether you were going to be present for most of it. We actually got down under 10 players active. Right. So we got pitted against other clans with 10 or less active players.
Oh, okay.
So with that amount of people, there's not going to be a whole lot of movement going on there. So we just played it strategic. We took the big one of the TDM. and we done the domination because we love playing domination. Then we just played some hardcores, and then. But one thing I did notice this weekend was sometimes it was really hard to find a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very hard to find a game when I'm in, especially because I don't have any of the DLC.
Yeah,
So that can
that can hinder. But we all had it. There was Chris, myself, Zesty, Ev, and we've got all the DLC, and we still experienced troubles. We couldn't get hardcore kill confirmed, and we were lucky to find a hardcore team deathmatch, to the point where like we only needed 10 capture points, and on 3 of the nodes we had 8 of the 10, you know. And then Chris and I walked through on Monday. I think we just put a couple of extra points on each of them and capped them, just so if we played it through the week, we'd have an in-game XP boost.
Nice.
So,
Well, hopefully I'm available for the next one. I'm keen to do that.
Yeah, we strolled through, so that's good.
Nice. What else, Sean? Anything else?
no, that's
it. Red, what about you? You want to touch on anything?
One thing I do, well, I'm going to touch on it more next week. We'll go into a bit more of a conversation, but I picked up... I might finish my penis next week. Tesla Grad.
Oh, yeah.
Was on special on the digital, so I haven't yet unlocked all the abilities, meaning I've probably only pushed through probably about 20-25% of the game.
What is it, a platformer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Platformer, you get touched once, you die, restart, trial and error, go to start off with, but I just slowed myself down, and it's cool, as the name would almost imply, Tesla being electricity and whatnot. It's got a magnet physic in it, which kind of works, and it uses red and blue, so positive and negative. That's where you apply to those. So, and you got a glove, a red glove, a blue glove. You got a blue cloak, which I haven't got yet, and you get a staff, I believe. But you can punch certain blocks and make them either positive or negative, which will then in turn affect everything else that's going on around you. So. There'll be a more in-depth review style process with that for next week.
All right. No dramas. All right. Well, look, I think we can move off into the news. All right, first up in the news, we've got Games with Gold for August 2015. Red, you could probably tune out now because I know you don't care. When I hear that noise, I'm never quite sure if it's you or your dog.
Well, he's asleep beside me as well.
Yeah, so it could be either or. Games with Gold, so 2 free games on Xbox One and Xbox 360 every single month. And for the Xbox One, it'll be from August 1 to 31st, so it's going to be all month, is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I think we got that for the PlayStation...
last month.
Last month, was it?
Yeah.
And also from August 16th through to September 15th, that's a bit strange, so it's going to go through to September as well, How to Survive Storm Warning Edition. That's that zombie game that you and I played on the PS4. That is a real good game. So I've got it on the PS4, I've got it on PC, and I'm now going to have it on the Xbox as well. Still haven't finished it though. Hey,
it is hard.
Yeah, it is a very hard game. You need to play with your mates.
Yep.
On the Xbox 360, you're going to get from August 1 to 15 Metro 2033. And from August 16 to 31 is Metro Last Light. There you go. But that's only on the Xbox 360. It's not
That's a touch sad.
What's that?
That's a touch sad, considering it's got a current gen port.
Yeah, they're good games though. If you're still kicking on a 360, they're pretty decent games to get.
Yep. Concur.
They're the August Games with Gold, and hopefully next week we'll have. Yeah, we should have the PlayStation ones by next week's podcast. It'd probably be out by then, wouldn't it?
At least announced.
At least announced, yeah. Cool. All right, Red, news.
Fallout Fallout 4 perks and companions have been detailed recently. So you guys know what the special is with your upgrades. The S being strength, P perception, E endurance, C charisma, I intelligence, A agility, and L for luck. That's how you spend your skill points.
Right. Yep.
So with those, there's going to be 10 perks for each, so that's a total of 70 base perks, and some of them are going to be brand new to the series, which is really cool. That's about all I have on that. There's no emphasization. It's just there's going to be 10 base perks and each giving you 70. There's also going to be 12 companions in the game, and each can be romanced regardless of player's character gender. So, Jesus. So the revealed companions at the moment include Dogmeat, Codsworth, Preston Garvey, and I'm going with Piper. Could be Pippa, but it's Piper. So Preston Garvey is a leader of a faction called the Commonwealth of Minutemen, with Piper runs a newspaper from the ruins of Boston's Fenway Park.
Yeah, that's not worth hooking up with the Minuteman.
Wait.
That's what the missus says.
Hang on. Can you romance Dogmeat? The dog?
You pat him. It says here, it can be romanced. Oh, Jesus, don't go there, Ray.
You can fall in love and have sexual relations with a dog.
I don't know, I'm going to be constantly looking for the peanut butter in stores.
Peanut butter.
Oh! Smash your doggy. Come here.
It's okay, because it's your dog.
Blink-182. Doggy style. Had to go there. Dogmeat is, of course, the in-game's canine companion, and Codsworth is a returning character, your handy robot. And some other little tidbits. Weapons in-game include the Fat Man mini nuke, so Red's going to be rocking that. Sniper rifles, makeshift weapons, and wind-up laser guns. There are stealth, lockpicking, and hacking systems. Enemy factions can be played off against one another, which they tried to do that in 3. You could pretty much do that in 3, but hopefully they'll make this a bit bigger. And radiation will reduce a character's maximum health until it's purged from their system. So, yeah, new little tidbits and whatnot coming out of Fallout 4. I must say, I am really excited for this.
The only thing that I paid any attention to them was fucking dogs.
Jesus Christ. 1,000 player character names have been recorded for conversation with Codsworth, including McFly, Boobies, and Fuckface.
What? So you can name your character and he'll say it? Really?
I'll read it again. 1,000 player character names have been recorded for conversation with Codsworth, including McFly, Boobies, and Fuckface. So, yeah, hopefully I can call my character Fuckface.
Right, but that's only when you're talking to Codsworth.
Yeah. So
Right.
maybe not.
Gotcha. Yeah, righto. Is that it for that one?
Yeah, mate, that's it.
Okie dokie, Sean, give us the news.
A drug scandal has hit the esports world.
What?
Too much
Yes.
His thumbs have six packs.
Yes.
He's got a little needle in the little pit of his thumb and finger. Never mind, keep going. Tell me about
There's
this weird
a
thing.
North American CSGO team, Cloud9, has a member of them has admitted that he and his teammates used Adderall during a tournament in March.
What's Adderall?
So Adderall's a psychostimulant, if you will. It's used for this is what's really big with anti-doping and stuff. It's just because it's prescribed by your doctor doesn't mean that it's not against the rules when it comes to anti-doping. So it's used for the treatment of ADHD and narcolepsy, which is kind of weird because speed has different effects on people. Like with ADHD, speed will slow them down, and same with narcolepsy. If you've got narcolepsy, like giving them Goey, it'd probably make them go that off their tits that they get that tired that they fall asleep.
Right.
Oh no, narcolepsy is when you just fall asleep randomly. isn't
That's where you just drop. Yeah.
it? Yeah. So so give them speed to keep them awake.
It works as prescribed by your corner man.
Yes, that's it. His
Yeah.
name's Bruce.
Yeah. So now they're looking at the ESL, the Esports League, has announced that it would enforce randomized drug testing. So this is across the board in most mainstream sports, there's a big anti-doping league. And what are your thoughts? Yes, for esports or
I
what?
think yes, but not really. I don't really think it's going to make much difference to your performance. But yes, because I think a drug-free environment is better than one where there's doped up weirdos.
Mm.
I think anything official like that should be drug-free. So drug testing should be a thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of like when you got like the Olympics and they've got like the snowboarders and like you don't really get any good ones that aren't like smoking weed and stuff. Yeah.
I think
going to the X Games and drug testing all of the skateboarders and like guys are use stoners in there, wouldn't they?
Well, I think all these sort of stimulants and drugs and all that sort of stuff should be reserved for rock stars. And if rock stars get off the gear, they should probably get off the scene. Because, man, have you guys heard any of the Stone Temple Pilots after they quit the gear? And what about hey?
What's
Marilyn Manson off the gear?
Off the gear, yeah, terrible music.
Yeah, when he got fat. Yeah. Metallica, some kind of monster with that whole fucking therapist thing.
That Phil guy from Grinspoon, they went downhill.
Yeah.
Stay on the gear if you're a fucking rock star. If you're a video game player, get off it and go to school.
Yeah, but look, Keith Richards, he's been on the gear for God knows how long, and he's still alive.
Yeah, well, he's a rock star.
He created it.
Willie Nelson.
He's written the instruction manual on how to get off your face and write sick-ass music.
Yeah.
I don't condone drugs. Neither does Aussie Gamers Express.
So neither does the esports league. So yeah, it looks like it's mainly stimulants and stuff, but it'd probably be across the board for everything, because in the end, like performance enhancing would be things like this, and yeah. Well, it even comes down to things many years ago in the Olympics and stuff like that. There when they banned a whole heap of like inhaler type things got put onto the drugs ban list, then all of a sudden all these teams, everybody became asthmatic. So the doctor was actually prescribing it to them, which they could get away with because they were asthmatic and they needed it.
All right. Well, for anyone that was worried, Doritos and Mountain Dew is not prohibited. So
yeah, so that's what I was about to say. The dew levels will be
through the roof. All right, moving on to the next piece of news, which is Mafia 3 was announced.
Yes.
It wasn't leaked, was it? Did they just...
No,
they just sort of teased it. So what's been announced is they put up an ad, if you will. It was just a screenshot where it says Mafia 3, and it says worldwide reveal on the 5th of August 2015. So we're going to get probably a trailer and a bit more information about it next month. But I'm really looking forward to that. I enjoyed Mafia 2. That was a brilliant game.
Yes.
Had that real cool underbelly tone to it. With
I think I've got that on my download list somewhere from a PS Plus many moons ago.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I've got it on PS3. But I played it a lot earlier than that on the Xbox 360. And she's a top game, real good game. So Mafia 3 will be pretty good. It'll be like a Grand Theft Auto, but serious and dark and gritty.
It's funny you say that, because they would Take-Two were casting for 3 roles: Tony, Mikey, and Franklin.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so it could be a little bit like GTA 5 with 3 stories entwined into
and
one.
2 of the characters with the same names. What happened to
Franklin,
Trevor?
Tony, and Mikey. Yeah, Tony. T for Tony, T for Trevor.
Yeah, I had to give that one slightly different. There you go. That's funny. All right, but that's it for that one, Red.
PS4 it gets an officially licensed keyboard and mouse controller.
Oh, really?
Now, if you frequent our page, you would have seen Weeksy's post about, well, first and foremost with the picture of him and what his thoughts on it. But I believe that you brought up a pretty decent thing in the comment section, Luke.
It's made for right-handed people.
It's made for right-handed people.
Now, do you know what it is that makes it right-handed? The way you would put your hand on WASD positions the space bar to the right, which
Yes.
means you're using your left hand. Whereas I don't play like that. If I play on a keyboard and mouse, my right hand is on the AS or those keys or whatever. Yeah, fair enough. The space bar's still on the other side, but it just I would love it if they'd made it. I know it would probably destroy the design, but a space bar that went a little bit longer, that you could use it both ways, where
I
you'd
reckon
have.
they should sell left-handed versions.
Yeah, but it probably cost too much money, and I think there's probably a higher percentage of right-handed people in the world. That's a guess. I would say that I'm the what do you call it? The minority, which is a shame because it's really hard for me to buy like a mouse because I'm limited to the ones that are ambidextrous, because they make ambidextrous mice that are very sort of symmetrical, but they don't make left-handed ones. So you can get a right-handed or an ambidextrous, which sucks.
And I don't think the colour scheme was something they just plucked out of a hat, because it's orange and it's black, and it's released on the 9th of October and will work with the PS4 and the PS3 just in time for Black Ops 3.
Yes.
I think I know the answer with you guys, but would you want to play a console with a keyboard and mouse?
Oh, hell no.
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 We reserve that right for the weirdos like Repromere.
Yeah, that's it. But then somebody else made a comment, might have been on Reddit, might have been on our Facebook page, but that's going to be a hell of a task balancing that shit on your lap.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a full keyboard, it's only a little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's like a half
it's
size
different.
thing.
It's a dozen buttons, like your number pad.
Yeah, and I think only weirdos sit up to a desk when they're playing a console. Red?
I don't sit up to it. I rest my legs on it while I'm stretching out on a fat man chair.
That's all right. You're given. So, anyone from us going to invest in one of these?
No.
Oh, hell no.
No. And are they wired?
Yes.
What do you say, Red? Jog on.
You know what? It's just that if I was going to have a keyboard or something along those lines, I'd want it to be a full
Yeah,
keyboard.
bro, full keyboard.
So you can type, so you're not sitting there
So
going,
you can say, tick, 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 A, tick, 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 B, as you're going across the
Yeah,
fucking...
I'm the same. If I was going to use a keyboard on there, I just want to use a full keyboard.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway. But I should mention, I'm pretty sure it's already compatible with keyboard and mouse. It's just that they're bringing
that's
one
just to say that,
specifically for
yeah.
it. It's not like a new thing that's going to be compatible. They always work. So you can use a full one if you want. It's just a spiffy, designed one for gaming only. But anyway.
it's my ignorance coming out. Why the fuck would you use that with a console?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. All right, Sean.
Oh, okay. Hulk Hogan has been a very naughty man.
He jogged on, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He's made headlines about allegedly using racial slurs in a conversation.
So what did he say? Do you have what he said?
I'm not 100% sure what he said, but it, so he's got racial slurs in a conversation's caught on a sex tape.
Oh, it's on a sex tape?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, too bad this isn't a video vodcast thingy, eh?
Because, I don't really want to...
I don't want to see it.
And now 2K has pulled him from WWE 2K16. So all references to him have been taken out of the game. At one point last week, it looked like they were pulling the DLC straight from the store for all the 2K15. Now, if you remember, 2K15 had a special Hulkamaniac edition.
They did.
Yes, so I'm guessing they've all been pulled from the shelves, the Hulkamania editions and all that kind of stuff. Apparently WWE don't want anything to do with him. He's been removed from all the sites. He's been removed from the WWE Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. They just said Hogan's offered up an apology for his behaviour. He said it was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive language. There is no excuse for it, and I apologise for having done it. And yeah, he's been in everything. So they said that Hogan's earliest video game appearance was the Commodore 64, so Micro League Wrestling in 1987. And the WWF games and WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff all the way through. So he's been a pretty benchmark and staple character throughout the whole time. I think there was a little bit of time there where they put him completely out when he went through TNA wrestling and that. And but now he's back, and there's a lot of people out there that are quite annoyed about him being done off this. And then he's was hallmarked to be on the hosting the live shows in Sydney and all that next month, and now that's not going to happen either. So
he's a fucking pioneer of the industry.
Whoops.
Yeah, let's see what he said.
And did you see the headline? They bloody didn't. WWE terminates Hulk Hogan's contract.
Oh, very good, because that's a quick thing that we've got to mention. The Terminator's going to be in there for pre-orders. I'm pre-ordering it.
Yeah.
I want the Terminator. I want the Terminator.
Off.
What?
And you play it on your left-handed keyboard.
What's the matter?
You're not going to get a wrestling game, are you?
Yeah, because Arnie's in it.
Oh, fuck off!
What do you mean? What? I can't get it because I don't play wrestling or don't like wrestling?
I just don't believe you. And now you're going to have to spend $80 to prove me wrong.
I just fucking said it on the podcast. Why wouldn't it be true?
You have me on here every week.
What?
Oh, wow.
You fucking
I just never see
arsehole.
you. I probably will.
Yeah. I'm getting it. And not to spite you, because the Terminator's in it. He's the only character I'm going to use.
That's like buying Mortal Kombat for bloody Predator.
Yeah, I did that too. All right.
Yes, and that is until Arnie actually gets kicked out of the game for saying "I'll be black."
Righto. Sean is just being.
I have here exactly what has been said by Hulk Hogan.
All right, hurry up. We're running out of time.
Yes, he's was on his sex tape and he was talking about his daughter. Why are you talking about your daughter in the middle of a sex tape's got me fucked. But anyway, she's making some real bad decisions
must
right
have got him
now.
Fucked too.
Yeah. Yeah, Hulk said she's making some really bad decisions right now. After complaining he gave her $2 to $3 million for her music venture, Hulk said, a black billionaire guy offered to fund the rest. I don't know if Brooke was fucking the black guy's son. I mean, I don't have double standards. I mean, I am a racist to a point, fucking. But then when it comes to nice people and shit and whatever.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, he said the N word, but.
Yeah. It's a gay slur and an N word.
Okay. All right. It's probably I think they've overreacted. Let's move on because you guys are about to fucking push boundaries yourselves. All right. Next up, let's do. Shut up. Let's do.
Sorry, there was more there. Yeah.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there is more.
All right, quickly.
He continues his rant by saying he would prefer her to marry an 8-foot tall worth $100 million like a basket player if she was going to fuck someone.
Oh, okay. All right. There's a few beeps in there, but fair enough. You probably get the point of what's been said.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish the news there and let's go into this week's famous video game potato.
Oh, hi. So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
All right, so we haven't done this for quite a while, and some people who are new to Aussie Gamers Express might not know what it is, but famous video game potatoes is where I'm going to read out a quote from a famous video game, but I'm going to take one of the words out of the quote, and it's generally a keyword, and replace it with the word potato or potatoes or something like that. And what it is your job, as in you, Sean and Red, is to work out what the quote is and what game it comes from. So I want to know for 1 point, tell me the game. For an extra point, tell me what the potato is. So what word did I replace with potato? So it's quite easy.
Now you need to make sure that you actually replace a word with potato because we've had this issue before.
Yeah, I know. It was the Jill sandwich one, wasn't it? Yeah. You were almost a Jill sandwich. I mean, potato. Damn it. Yeah, that happened. Whatever. All right, so I've got Sean and Red. Let's give you the first one. The first one should be easy because I think I may have used it before. A man chooses and a slave potatoes.
Should be an easy one.
Should be, but I've got some retards. What's going on? A man chooses and a slave potatoes. I'm even kind of trying to imitate the voice.
I think it's Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is not correct.
Bioshock.
It is
A man
Bioshock.
chooses and a slave follows? Obeys. Obeys.
Obeys. Well Googled, Red.
Yeah.
Well done.
What
Thank you.
separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys. You think you have me?
Did you Google that, you son of a bitch?
No!
All right, well done, Red. You got 2 points. All right, let's go. Number 2. This is a long one. Hopefully I don't screw it up. Didn't we have some fun, though? Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said, potato? And you were like, no way. And then I was all, we pretended we were going to murder you. That was great.
Oh, Red.
Red?
It sounds very Borderlands.
Ooh, it's not Borderlands.
It sounds like Tiny Tina, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's a weird thing to say. I'll read it again. Didn't we have some fun, though? Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said potato? And you were like, no way. And then I was like, oh, we pretended we were going to murder you. That was great.
No, I
Sounds
got
Last of Us-y.
The Last of Us.
Not with something that... No.
All right.
Yeah.
The game is Portal, and the
Oh,
word
no,
was,
Uh,
the word was goodbye. It wasn't a key word at all.
Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye? And you were like, and then I was all, we pretended we were going to murder you.
All right. So
no wonder I didn't get it.
you haven't played Portal 2 yet?
No.
Did you have to Google whether you'd played it or not?
No, it's just added effect for cheating. But
Oh,
no.
fair enough. All right. The next one. Where did you get Where did you get the money for this? Potatoes. I sell hardcore potatoes.
Oh, sure.
Sean, I'm to porn.
Wait, hang on.
That's-
I'll try. No, wait. I'll try and read it out with the voice. I won't do the first line. So the first line will just be normal. Where did you get the money for this? Potatoes. I sell hardcore potatoes. Yeah, kind of got it.
Yeah.
What is it, Sean?
That's The Last of Us.
It is The Last of Us. And what's the potato?
Drugs.
It is. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right at the start with the
Right at
what?
the beginning, it's Sarah. It's Joel's daughter.
Yeah.
When she gives him the watch
Well done.
for his birthday.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
There you go. All right, number 4. My favourite words. Life without savouring the sound of surreptitious potatoes is like licking snails through a cloth.
Of course it is.
Yes. My favourite words. Life without savouring the sound of surreptitious potatoes is like licking snails through a cloth.
No idea.
No idea. No.
Come on, you guys love this game. It was like the best game in the entire world. You just like blew your minds. Like,
Oh, Witcher 3. Oh.
I'm not giving you the point.
Oh, was it?
It is The Witcher 3. Well, now that you know it's The Witcher 3, does that help?
Oh, no, you had me at surreptitious or whatever it was.
Surreptitious. I don't know what that means.
No, but you had me at that anyway.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
All right, the proper words
he
are...
got to that bit and he's like, fuck, how do I spell that?
Because he couldn't type it in to Google.
Oh, fuck off!
My favourite words, life without savouring the sound of surreptitious shenanigans is like licking snails through a cloth.
Shenanigans.
That was Johnny, you know, the little weird fucking thing that couldn't talk?
Yep.
When he first started talking, he was all like, oh, I want to say the words because I haven't been able to speak in so long. My favourite words, and surreptitious shenanigans were his favourite words and shit.
Done celebrating?
My favourite words! Life without savouring the sound of surreptitious shenanigans is like licking snails through a cloth. Thank you for this, noble whoever
There you go.
are.
Right, thanks for playing. All right, number 5, the last one we've got. Before the age of the twilight set upon the potatoes, a legend rose to claim his place among them.
Oh.
One more time.
Before the age of the twilight set upon the potatoes, a legend rose to claim his place among them.
Oh,
I don't think I can do the voice.
I know the voice.
Before the age of the twilight set upon the potatoes, a legend rose to claim his place among them. That was a horrible...
It's Blizzard.
Is it?
Is it? It's not Diablo.
It's not.
No,
It's not Blizzard.
It's not Blizzard.
It's not Blizzard.
It sounds very Blizzard.
It's not.
Mm.
I implore you.
That's a yes.
Do you give up, Sean?
Yeah, I do. I'm not. Oh,
You guys.
I can hear the voice.
I can be real sort of pompous up in my little watchtower knowing the answers, but you guys are a disgrace. This is one of your
There's
favourite
another fucking
games.
clue.
Before
got it. Yeah, got it. Fuck. Yeah, yeah.
Go.
The time at the twilight. Sorry, can you just say it again?
Oh, yeah, just to make it easy again for you. Before the age of the twilight set upon the potatoes, a legend rose to claim his place among them.
Gods.
Gods.
All right, Red got that, and Sean got the game.
Before the age of the twilight set upon the gods, a legend rose to claim his place among them. And even though Kratos sat on the throne as the new god of war...
That puts you, Sean, on 3, Red on 3, and me, I win.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That was famous video game Potatoes. That's a bit of fun.
It is.
That'll come back when we do the next trivia special, whenever we're going to do that. I don't know.
It does sound very like when I was...
Oh, here we go. Backpedaling for your stupid answer.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that it sounded like, well, you know, the movies that they put out at the start of Blizzard games and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very much like those.
Sounds a lot like the video they put at the start of God of War.
God of War, yeah.
With the old granny lady talking over the top. All right,
Yeah.
well, that was, as I said, famous video game Potatoes. I hope you all liked it. Let's move on now to What's That Sound? Right, What's That Sound? Like, everybody got What's That Sound this week. And I gave everybody a free game. I did not discriminate. Let me get a list of people. Rusky Big Muskie, he got it right. He's been absent for a while, but he finally got one. Good on him. Ben Squidrito, he got it right as well. Congratulations. Also, Andrew Roy got it. Good on him. Robert White, Nick Aaron. I think that's it.
Stop. Yep.
They all got free games. Every single one of them.
For being legends.
Absolutely. Except Rusky, because he doesn't want them, because he doesn't play PC.
Good
But
man.
anyway.
He's got good taste.
And what was last week's... Yeah, shut up. What was last week's sound?
Pac-Man.
Was Pac-Man. It was like the little intro when you start playing. That was what that sound was. And
That was Sean's strong point.
right at the beginning. That's right.
I still didn't get it.
Still didn't get it. What a shame. All right, well, you ready for this week's What's That Sound?
Yes.
This week's sound. Have a listen to this one.
Wait till Mum see this. Oh, Guzzy wins again. Hooray for Guzzy!
Red!
I knew you would get this one. Remember last week I said, I promise you next week it'll be one that you know.
Yep.
Wait, do you know what it is, Sean?
Oh, I would, but somebody screamed right in the middle of it. So could you please play it again?
Play it again. But you can't give me your answer until Red has. That's fair.
Yes, he can.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he can.
All right. I'll play it again.
Wait till Mum see this. Oh, Guzzy wins again. Hooray for Guzzy!
Any idea, Sean?
Nah.
Nah.
Because when we get a Molotov thrown at us and rage quit the game and never play it again, we'll never do that side mission, will we? We'll never do that side mission where we meet Ghazi.
Yes.
Mama wants a video and chocolate.
And what's the game, Red? Exactly. So anyone that thinks that they know what that sound is after it's been rudely removed by myself in post-production, send us a message to the Facebook page saying, hey, LewkOne, I know what that game is. That game is, of course, now give me my free game. And you know what? You don't actually have to write it word for word.
Yeah, like they did this week, yeah.
But I got to give you extra credit, though, for the guys that did send it. Because I first read it, when I first read the first one that come through, written exactly how I'd written.
I'm like, what?
I was thinking, you rude bastard. Demanding a free game. And then it clicked. I'm like, hang on. I think I told them to say it, like to write that. And that's what I said. So I thought, oh, they're not being rude. They're just doing what they're supposed to, I guess. That was really funny. But, yeah, they're not rude at all. Good guys. So, yeah, send us through what you think that game is. And if you're correct, I'll send out some free games. Well, that's it for What's That Sound. What does that leave us to do now? Is that not so frequently asked questions?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, let's kick off with this week's not so frequently asked question. And as I said at the head of the show, we're doing it. The topic is Diablo, the Diablo series. And I just want to make a quick mention that this week we're actually recording, so we've got video of us doing this segment. So there will be a promo up on Facebook and on YouTube.
You get to see my ugly head, and
Yeah,
I'm like, hi.
I apologise for that. If I'm savvy enough with the video editing, I'll blur Sean's head out so nobody vomits. And Red, if you're picking your nose, we can't see each other because we're just recording locally, but I'll do what I can to reduce the amount of nausea that it induces.
You get to see Red's big bushy beard.
I know, and you get to see my seductive beard.
I had a shave yesterday just for this.
Did you? I haven't shaved
I had it for
like
a job interview.
a week. Oh, it's just we've got to be careful. Don't like pick and blow. So I kind of need to pick my nose. Now you talked about picking your nose before we started the segment.
And that's why I blew my nose before.
I'm going to pick it anyway. I don't care. All right, let's go. Let's get on with not so frequently asked questions and try not to look at yourself too much in the camera. First up, the Diablo series would not exist today if it weren't for the Justice League. Did any of you guys know that? Is that a not so frequently asked question?
No, I would not have known that.
No, well, I didn't until I did this research. Check this out. A small indie studio by the name of Condor Games was responsible for creating Diablo. And before this, Condor worked on a few horrible games, such as the DC Comics fighting game for the Mega Drive called Justice League Task Force. And you know that game?
No, I can't say I do.
You played that game, didn't you? It was one of your favourites.
Justice League, I'm wearing my Marvel shirt.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Lovely, isn't that fantastic? Another small upcoming company named Blizzard was contracted to work on the Super Nintendo port of this game just for the Justice League. So it was through this collaboration that Condor and Blizzard first became acquainted, which led directly to Condor pitching Diablo to Blizzard. And thus Diablo was born.
Thank you, Condor.
Yeah, thank you very much for making a shitty game and meeting up with an awesome game. So, yeah, that's that one. That was pretty cool, but it gets better. There's some really cool information about Diablo, so let me move on. Did you know Diablo was originally going to be a turn-based game?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Do you think you would have enjoyed it as a turn-based game?
Yes.
Oh, really? You like turn-based games, Red?
Well, that was big when Final Fantasy was big, man, and yeah, it definitely would have given it a go at the very least.
Yeah, I never really liked the Final Fantasy games, and it was probably because of the turn-based, so I don't think I would have liked it as much as I like, well, not that I've played the original Diablo, but Diablo 3, if that had what it had been like. I don't think I would have liked it as much.
No, there's little bits in there which makes it semi turn-based in the way that it's like regen on powers and stuff like that. So you always got your cooldowns and all those kind of things, which is really cool. So you're not constantly like spamming your massive attacks and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it would have worked as a turn-based game to speak, but certain elements that they've put in the game which make it semi-turn-based are good.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they didn't go that way. But here's another one. Would you have liked the game if it had claymation graphics?
Oh,
it was originally going to have claymation graphics.
No.
No.
I don't think I would have minded it. I like claymation.
It looks like a fucking episode of Gumby or Pingu.
Yeah, Pingu. They were both awesome cartoons growing up.
Yes, and now I see them like 30 to 40 times a day with my daughter. I'm not really of the same opinion now.
Well, that's why you got to get your kid into stuff like Star Wars, Clone Wars. That's what my daughter...
Shaun the Sheep, though, that's an awesome claymation.
That sounds like a sentence that you did past tense.
No?
Shaun the Sheep.
Anyway, moving on. Deckard Cain, voiced by Michael Goff, and he's also known for Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, and he was the voice in the final series. He was also Gopher in Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Deckard Cain. He's the old bloke, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's the Gopher, like with the big lisp and the whistle in his talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, that's him. He's also Jim Gordon in Arkham Origins. Is Deckard Cain, and he also did additional voices in The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Deckard Cain, he's been around. Now they said that also that Deckard Cain was the only non-playable character to appear in all three games. I saw that somewhere, but that's surely not right, because surely Diablo was in all three games, right? Do we know that?
Did you fight him? Did you fight him at the end of the first one?
I don't know. I never played it. Surely the game's called Diablo.
I'm not sure,
Diablo was in it. It's like having a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game and no Ninja Turtles. It's almost like having a wrestling game and no Hulk Hogan.
Oh, ring.
But anyway, there was no cow level. Do you remember that? There was that big rumor around saying that there is no cow level, and everyone around the world was just convinced that there was a secret cow level. Well, there wasn't, but that was up until Diablo 2 was released, and the developers went with the persistent rumors of there being a mysterious cow level and went, fuck it, we'll put it in. They made a cow level.
Yeah. They did that with Diablo 3 as well for was it the 3-year anniversary or something?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, just for 2 days.
Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Got some more. There's some hidden favourites in the game. So increasing the brightness or altering the colour of the original Diablo starting screen reveals a hidden message, and it says Natalie Portman rocks in the background.
Tend to agree.
Cool.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Well, I don't mind her too. She's a bit of a honey. But the
Yeah, when
developers.
that scene with Mila Kunis in Black Swan.
I haven't
You
seen
seen
it.
that movie?
No.
Oh, they go full Les in it. Yeah.
Do you see bits?
Yeah.
Boobs? Nipple?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't go that far.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's got a nice ass in that.
I was done by then.
Yeah, so the developers were obviously keen on her in the day, so they put that in there. Natalie Portman rocks. In Diablo 3, one of the game's helms, so the headpiece, the helmets, is modified after Deadmau 5's iconic mouse helmet. You know what that is?
No.
Well, it is actually in the game. There's a helmet that resembles this Deadmau 5's helmet thingy, head thing or whatever. And I had to Google who the hell he is because I had no idea. But he's a progressive house music producer and performer from Canada. And he's a favourite among the Blizzard team. So when he's up on stage doing his waka waka wah, he's got this, it looks like a Mickey Mouse helmet thingy. I don't know how.
I just googled it.
But there's a helmet in Diablo 3 that you can get that looks like that. I haven't seen it in the game myself, but I have seen images of it. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Good on you, Diablo, Blizzard. There's healthy messages as well. This was probably the coolest one. It's my last one. But upon entering level 16 of the original Diablo game, you'll hear a weird, seemingly demonic message. However, if you play the sound file backwards, it's actually saying, eat your vegetables and brush after every meal.
Cool.
I think that was the craze back in the day, is record
it
shit
wasn't it?
backwards and it sounds demonic, but it's really something simple. There you go. It's eat your vegetables and brush after every meal. That's cool. Did you guys learn something? Was there some things in there that wasn't so frequently asked in your lifetime?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's all I've got for not so frequently asked questions in Diablo. Unless you guys have anything to add.
No.
Nope. I haven't done 500 bounties yet.
I have. Yes, all I need left now is the hardcore run, and I should platinum.
All right, well, that's the end of Not So Frequently Asked Questions. That's the end of our recorded portion of the show. Thanks, everyone, for watching the recorded bit. And if you want to listen to the rest of the show, head over to iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Download the show. Go to the Facebook page, www.facebook.com/AussieGamers2012, and there's links everywhere, and you can watch and listen and all that sort of stuff. There'll be a link on this video too, wherever you're watching it. There's been links everywhere. Seriously, if you can't find the podcast, you're not looking. All right, let's move on to this week's Shout, Red.
Shout! Let it all out!
Right, this week's shout goes out to everyone that was involved in the COD Clan Wars, which was Sean, myself, you in spirit, Zesty, Blind Pig, Pearl, and Ditch 12. Good work, everyone. We had Ryan Finance wrote us a message on the page, I believe, and said he was looking for an Aussie gaming community, and he stumbled across us in somewhat similar fashion that I did back in the time, and went on to give us some pretty nice feedback and tell us that we do a pretty good job. So that in itself deserves a shout out. Followed up by a big comment from Rusky Big Muskie telling us we're the best one in America as well.
Oh, good man. Thanks.
So that was much appreciated. And Matt Turvey, aka Bad Religions, getting in amongst it again. Had a game of Rocket League with him last night. We went 9-0 in one game, and he didn't score a goal.
Oh, he said you were hogging the ball.
Yeah, I felt like I was.
Hog.
He goes, no man, getting wins. That was excellent. So, yeah, we had a good old. Well, played for a good couple of hours last night. I've nearly put 500 games through it at 5 minutes a game. You do the math. So yeah, big shout out to all you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. You got one?
I might
Sean?
add a little bit on there. Yeah, I just too rusky. It was last week.
Wait, do you need soft piano music? It sounds like you're about to say.
No. I just said last week I jumped online on I think it was like a Saturday morning or something, and Rusky was on, and yeah, got to play a few games while we were just having a chat and that, and it was just cool. So
awesome.
Thanks for the chat the other day. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show, Shawnee.
Yes, well, now that we're at the end of this week's show, please take the time to like us on Facebook. That's probably how you found us, and you've probably liked us already, but tell all your friends, tell everybody, share our stuff, comment. It's all about you and the community, so keep that all going.
And me.
If you use the Twitterverse, Aussie Gamers 12, follow at Aussie Gamers 12. Aussie Gamers TV is on twitch.tv. Our YouTube channel is, you guessed it, Aussie Gamers Express. You can find us on Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and iTunes, as Luke mentioned earlier when we were doing our video. So go on over there, download the podcast, subscribe to it. It'll download directly to the device of your choice every week, so you're not using up all your data and all that kind of stuff. It'll automatically do it when it's on Wi-Fi, so that's pretty cool. Head on over to www.aussiegamersexpress.com. That's where our blog is. That's where all of our news, reviews, thought pieces, all that kind of cool stuff is there. Get on over there now and check out the Q.U.B.E review and Godzilla review and the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. They're all new ones that have gone up there, so go on over and check those out. Snail mail can be sent to PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749. So yeah, anything you want to send through to us, old games that you think that we should play and give a go, or
scripts for Sean to read off.
Yes, I am reading off the script, but it's only these little, 4 little notes. Yeah, or it says it's like Twitter, Twitch, Stitcher, blog, YouTube, and the mailbox. So, yeah.
Screw community for free games.
I didn't even say the address. PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749 is where you can send the snail mail. And that's it.
That's it. All right, well, that's the end of the show. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I've been LewkOne, apparently.
I have been Thorncliff.
And I've been Red.